My trusty sidekick Maggie and I are here today to talk about 4 meditation principles you can use for health and well-being. And I hope you'll apply these to your life, because scientific research shows in study after study that meditation aids in health and well-being. Pure and simple. From heart disease to stress, meditation works for healing, as Jon Kabat-Zinn and his groundbreaking research on the subject has shown over and over. The question I posed to myself was, well, why is this? Why does meditation work the way it does for health and wellness? I thought that if I could get close to a kernel of the truth, to discern the principles behind meditation's efficacy, we could all have principles that we can apply to nearly every troublesome situation, whether it be health or wealth, better performance, or any other issue that comes along in our lives. So let me give you 4 principles for why meditation works. First, meditation interrupts the momentum of a condition. Conditions get built up within our biomechanical vehicle, our body, mind, personality, in the direction of some problem. The problem that we have begins for some reason, who knows? Genetic, environmental, karma, dysfunctional childhood, and the pain associated with these types of things. While the cause within 3-dimensional reality can be hard to pinpoint, problems or conditions do occur, possibly involving multiple swirling causes. And when a condition begins, it starts to loop. The problem gets bigger. The problem feeds on itself. A loop begins to occur, kind of like when I say to Alexa on my Amazon device about a song that I'm listening to, Alexa, loop it, and the song plays over and over. I'll bet everyone listening to this will recognize the loop effect. Somebody does something mean or thoughtless to us, and we begin to wonder, what's going on? We try to figure it out, and also begin to think about that person as a We go over and over that mean thing and the person's motivations, and we can't get it out of our mind. The loop effect has begun. We begin to weave a web of upset, negativity. The story begins to take on a life of its own. The loop is hard to escape. Meditation is therapeutic because it interrupts the loop, interrupts the momentum. Sitting in silence and withdrawing attention from a condition interrupts the influence of the condition, if only for a moment. The condition goes into abeyance, if only for a moment. Stay with it and the condition begins to dissolve in intensity and importance. It might even disappear. Second principle, meditation reveals the truth about the human condition. In that moment of silence, when we're meditating, we begin to experience our soul, our higher consciousness, our 5th-dimensional nature, and we come to realize that spirit is the animating force in our lives. In this recognition, we allow spirit to rush into the vacuum left by the withdrawal of attention on the human condition. Spirit rushing in is a healing agent, going to all corners of our human condition to elevate it to soul level, and we begin to experience our true eternal beingness, if only for a moment. Human conditions exist only in the 3rd dimension. They don't really have existence in 5th-dimensional reality. My diagnosed glaucoma, for example, is not a condition of my soul. My existence as Buddha mind is unaffected by the condition of my human eyes. The condition is really not real in a way, except in my human eyes biology. So far, my approach to healing my glaucoma has been to go to the doctor every 3 months to get my eye pressure checked and to take a couple of medications. I meditate whenever I go to the doctor, using my higher consciousness meditation process as outlined in my book, the meditation book, before I go to the doctor. And I use one of my mindfulness practices, like peace, be still, while I'm at the doctor's office. This interrupts the momentum of the visit's compelling but illusory nature. Several years later, now, my eye pressure numbers have not increased, and I'm not having any real symptoms. Check out my meditation book below for the process that I use both for mindfulness and for meditation. In my case, I think both my meditation and the medication that I'm using are helpful. My spiritual intervention adds to the medicine's effect. Each can amplify the effect of the other. Therefore, I take a brief mindfulness moment every night then when I put the eye drops in my eyes and when I swallow the vitamin. Principle 3, meditation shifts our attention. I can understand why certain conditions like hypertension, for example, respond to meditation. If you are hypertense, meditation, becoming more peaceful, would seem like an obvious, helpful antidote. But it does surprise me that cancer, arthritis, and even psoriasis respond positively to meditation. Deepak Chopra says it best. There's only one secret to healing, and that is enlightenment through the use of meditation. And realizing that you are the universe manifesting through a human nervous system and becoming self-aware. Fourth principle, meditation affects the vibratory rate of the body. All things are made up of energy. The chair that I'm sitting on may look like it's solid. However, science says that it's largely air. And some atomic particles have been given shape by the way of a intention on the part of the person who made it. And all of this energy has vibration. This causes seemingly solid objects like my chair to be different from the solid object of my desk. Our vibratory rates are quite complicated. We might see something that's beautiful, but triggers an unpleasant memory from our past. One part of our brain may be pleasantly stimulated. At the same time, another part of our brain experiences pain. This sets up a discordant set of vibrations that can jangle the system that we call our body. The same with stress. A little stress can be motivating and helpful. Too much stress over a long period of time can be damaging and cause disease. It's interesting, the word disease is a combination of dis and ease. Not at ease. This unease can set up a distressed and distressing vibratory rate and cause inflammation, a burning sensation in one or more parts of our body, and therefore cause some condition or cause some disease. Meditation has the opposite effect on the body. It calms the system down. It lowers the vibratory rate of various body parts. It lessens inflammation and therefore soothes the dis-ease, causing the body to resume its more normal vibratory rate, which is a natural peacefulness that we're born with. It's really part of our natural state of being, and the body has time to heal. By understanding these principles, you can see why meditation is good for you. Better health, a sense of peace, perhaps even flashes of illumination are the potential outcomes of meditation, all of which can alter a condition that you may be having. If this sounds good to you, let me suggest a few things that you can do next. First, learn to meditate, as mentioned above. Second, hit the subscribe button below so I can send you more videos like this. And third, I have a special gift for you, a free copy of my first book, The Amazing Benefits of Meditation. Click on the link below and I'll send you one. Let me conclude by saying Namaste, meaning the higher consciousness in me salutes the higher consciousness in you.